Hello viewers, welcome to Research Matters. I'm Batia Stolar, Lakehead University's Associate Vice President of Research and Graduate Studies. And today I have the pleasure of introducing you to our new Vice President of Research and Innovation, Dr. Langis Roy. Welcome, Langis.
Thank you, Batia. Welcome.
You bring more than 20 years experience to this role. In the last 10 years, you have served as Dean of Graduate and Postgraduate Studies, as well as Deputy Provost at Ontario Tech University. And you've also held academic appointments at the University of Ottawa and Carleton University. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what drew you to Lakehead University and to this role?
Yes. So you mentioned the last 10 years as Dean of Graduate Studies and Deputy Provost, but prior to that, I was a electrical engineering prof at Ottawa U and then Carleton. And I would say throughout the whole journey, it's really prepared me naturally for this role. And, so just to start off, being an electronics engineering professor with a very industry-focused research program, I was doing what the typical university prof does, which is, 40% teaching, 40% research, 20% service to the community and administration of some type. And over the years, I progressively got into some forms of administration, including department head of electronics engineering in this rapidly evolving field. And then I was always drawn to graduate studies because I had very wonderful years of my life as a graduate student, and I wanted to contribute to that part of the university. So I was Associate Dean of Graduate Studies and then eventually moved to my previous university as the Graduate Dean. And graduate studies is always very close to research. And when you get into those kinds of roles, that 40-40-20 breakdown actually becomes more like 80% administration and then no longer teaching, but in the classroom in the traditional way, but always maintaining some research activity and being so 20% on research. So then afterwards moving into the Deputy Provost role, so grad studies was great for the graduate experience and for being close to research. But then Deputy Provost was more on experiential learning and student supports, a lot at the undergrad level, and gave me a really good global view of the university through those experiences. And prior to coming here at Lakehead, I was on a research leave. So when you're on research leave for a year, that percentage switches from 80% admin to 20%, 80% admin, 20% research. It's 80% research and then, or actually it was 100% research. So now back in an administrative role as Vice President of Research, I've solved that dilemma of how to be doing 80% of an administrative role and 20% of research, which I really enjoy. Now I'm doing 100% of research, 80% of which is research administration. So it's very, very appealing, very attractive to me.
Thank you for sharing that. You have been in Thunder Bay now and in this role at Lakehead for 2 months. Has anything surprised you? Well,
I would say the volume of emails has surprised me. There's an intensity of activity that is unstoppable, and it's been very intense, but also very enjoyable. I've really been warmly welcomed into Lakehead University, into the community, and into the office. In terms of surprises, I continuously am amazed on a daily basis. I'd like to say what I've been doing over the last 2 months has been a discovery tour. I've been visiting, I've been meeting with key individuals, I've been meeting with directors of research centers and institutes and meeting with partners. And throughout all of those encounters, I continuously am amazed at the breadth and depth of the research enterprise that we have at Lakehead. It is truly impressive, and the excellence that's manifested throughout. That would be one of the surprises, just to see how extensive it is. But other things have been pleasant surprises for me as well. One is the commitment of our researchers, of our faculty members, of our staff, and of our students. A lot of people have a deep attachment to the university. A lot of people in their roles as researchers and staff members have been there for a while and have a real commitment to the success and to the excellence of Lakehead. So I really noticed that. Perhaps another surprise for me has been the true can-do spirit of Lakehead. I think it's a reflection of being in this region where people, partners, resources are often dispersed, and we have to be innovative, we have to take initiative, we have to do things differently in order to bring these people together and bring projects to fruition. And there's a real can-do spirit here that I really admire.
Well, it sounds like you have been with us longer than 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't said that. You mentioned that you spent the last year doing your own research prior to being in this role. Can you share with us what that research is about?
Yes, so I'm an electronics engineer by training. I work on wireless technologies, and so first 20 years or so of my career, or a good chunk of it anyways, has been devoted to that telecom industry and wireless component technologies that go into that, and a little bit in biomedical. We had some research partners for wireless sensors for biomedical applications. And then 10 years ago, when I moved to Oshawa, well then I became very engaged with the automotive field. So it turns out that a lot of those underlying research capabilities and expertise can transfer over to autonomous vehicles and the automotive industry. And now, since I've joined Lakehead, I'm really getting deeply into natural resource management, forestry, mining, and all the technologies that go along with that. So, what I'm my own research, which started off as these miniaturized electronic components and chips, that went into subsystems and then into larger systems. I've really spanned, from components to systems, and the more you go into systems, the more you need to adopt a team approach, a multidisciplinary approach, and now I have this real appreciation for bringing together highly functional teams to build or find system solutions for some of the big challenges.
Well, thank you for sharing with us what your background in AI and systems and technologies has brought you to this point. That is very exciting for us to learn about as well. We're going to take a short break and then come back and learn more about Dr. Roy's vision for Lakehead's research and innovation future.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You're watching Research Matters, brought to you by Lakehead University. Before the break, we were introduced to Dr. Langis Roy, and in this segment, we are going to be discussing what is the future for research and innovation at Lakehead. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So last month, Lakehead University launched its 2025-2030 new strategic plan, Shaping the Evolution, and I know that a key part of your role will be to develop the new research plan for Lakehead. In terms of research and innovation, what can our community get excited about for the next 5 years?
I think the biggest thing to be excited about is the opportunity in front of us right now for research excellence and growth of our research enterprise. We are in this very interesting time of change. You look at the geopolitics, you look at the state of the environment, you look at just where the needs are greatest, and I think this is Lakehead's terrain to win. We constantly hear about the Ring of Fire. We constantly hear about the need to have sovereignty over our critical minerals and even sovereignty over our digital networks. And we need to do this all in a sustainable way. And these play all into Lakehead's strengths. So I think the thing to be excited about right now is the opportunity we have in front of us.
So you've mentioned some areas of opportunity. Can you also tell us a little bit more about what areas do you see hold the most promise or the most potential for growth in the coming years?
Yes. Naturally, when we're looking ahead for our strategic plan, our development, by the way, I'll just preface that by saying we're working very closely with the Provost's office in the deployment of, or the development of the academic research plan. So the academic strengths of the university are going to be informing the research agenda, but the research strengths are informing the academic agenda. And really, we want to be building on our strengths and extrapolating, 5 years, even 10 years into the future. What I see are three big domains of excellence in our research at Lakehead. The first one, I'm just going to call it our magic makers. They all start with the letter M, right? So it's materials, it's methods, it's models, and it's machines. We do advanced materials, methods, models, and machines that are the building blocks for almost everything else that we do. And that brings me to the next sort of big domain, sponsored by the letter E, environment. When I talk about environment, we mean the natural environment, we mean the built environment, we mean the social environment, and even the cyber environment. Lakehead understands and contributes to the improvement of all these environments. We have it in our DNA, I would say, as being system thinkers, as being focused on sustainable solutions. So when you talk about environments, you need that multidisciplinary approach, and you need system thinkers that's mindset that exists already here. So environments, letter E, they are equitable, they're engaging, they're ethical. Environments are eco-responsible, and they often need to be energized. So all the E words that go under environment. But lastly, the third domain of excellence that has to be mentioned, and it's the most important one, and that's human. So under the letter H, we've got, health, human health, and that's both personal and community health. We also have harmony, harmonious communities, societies, and then finally, highly performing human behaviors and human capabilities. We often talk about AI augmenting human intelligence and human capacity with so many of the other things that we do with technology. So those are my three big areas that I think are ripe for future growth and prioritization at Lakehead.
And that is a fairly comprehensive view of and recognition of all the strengths that Lakehead has in all its disciplines. So that is very exciting to hear. At the heart of Lakehead is students.
Yes.
And I know that that is something that you also are incredibly committed to. You've been a strong advocate for student success throughout your career in all elements, including experiential learning. So how will we ensure that students at Lakehead, both at the graduate and undergraduate levels, are forefront in this new area of research?
Yes, I really believe in the power of undergraduate students. In fact, it's no secret. At Lakehead, we invite our high schoolers to consider or to join Lakehead in an undergraduate program. Why? Because you have a chance to do research while you're pursuing your undergraduate degree. And we are blessed here with the number of research centers and institutes and summer opportunities for students to, undergrad students to begin with, to get involved, and then these become master's and PhD students. The other part that I mentioned at the beginning about us developing jointly the academic and the research plan means that there will be no dichotomy, between what our research activities are, or no disconnect between the academic curriculum that students are following. So there will be, I think, increasing opportunities for these multidisciplinary teams that I'm talking about that are going to be addressing big research challenges, to be engaging with all levels of students and giving them experiential learning opportunities that will have a research element to it. So that's what I'm hoping.
That's great. In 2023, Lakehead University was designated as an Innovation and Economic Prosperity University in recognition of our strong commitment to economic engagement. What opportunities do you see to strengthen our industry and community partnerships and ensure our research has its impact?
Yes, I've been pleasantly surprised to see the quality of the innovation ecosystem that we have already here and that we can further build upon. It all starts with listening to community and listening to industry to ensure that we're aligned with some of their needs that they've expressed and priorities. And just one example is which I think represents fairly well for one sector, which is the bioeconomy, how we do have this synergistic relationship with the City of Thunder Bay, the, can't remember exactly the acronym, CEDC is Center for Economic Development Community. So there's those players from the City of Thunder Bay, along with Confederation College, with Lakehead University, with the Northwestern Ontario Innovation Centre, and we're forming this consortium. It's actually called the Boreal Springboard, which is an ecosystem where we're inviting either entrepreneurs coming straight out of our university programs, or startup companies, either locally or from abroad, northern countries in particular. And the slogan is, grow your business in our forest. And it's really taking all those partners and accompanying those new startups and entrepreneurs and providing them the environment to contribute to economic development.
Thank you. We're going to take another short break and then come back to our discussions with Dr. Roy.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We are glad that you're able to join us today in our discussions with Lakehead University's new Vice President of Research and Innovation, Dr. Langis Roy. Langis, the title of the show is Research Matters. So why does research matter?
Thank you for asking that question. Research matters because it's the only way we are going to be able to achieve sustainable prosperity. The challenges facing humanity right now don't need to be overstated, they don't need to be repeated, but we desperately need innovative, creative solutions for clean environments, clean energy, sustainable economic development, and all those accompanying benefits. So we need research, and we need big research, which means multifunctional teams that are multidisciplinary and addressing the big challenges in partnership with all the stakeholders. Research matters.
It certainly does. We are almost at the end of the segment, and I know that there's a lot of things that our viewers are probably wondering about, so I will ask you a few questions to try and see if we can answer their curiosity. What do you like living most about in Thunder Bay?
You know, I find Thunder Bay a lot like my hometown, Sherbrooke, Quebec, where it was about the same size in terms of population and surrounded by beautiful nature. And everything's close by. I live 5 minutes from work, and if I want to go out shopping, you know, that's not very far. And coming here today, you know, for this location, for our meeting, it's all close by. I find that so enjoyable with the friendliness, the community, and also that creative spark that people have in Thunder Bay. I mean, who would have thought of calling that sweet bun the Persian, you know? And then they build on that in a way that is, for example, this month, October, is Breast Cancer Research Awareness Month. And there's one of these burger joints in Thunder Bay that has come out with the Booby Burger. And they've got a specially shaped bun, which they're using Persian cream inside, you know, when you've got those sweet and salty sauces, you know. And they're making money in a very original way, raising money for cancer research. So I like all those things about Thunder Bay.
Do you have any hidden hobbies or talents that you would like to share with our viewers?
I wouldn't describe them as hobbies, but there is one activity that I really like to do, and that I practice regularly, and that's swimming. I used to be a competitive swimmer, and it's still something that I don't swim competitively anymore, but it is still the activity, the physical activity that I like to do the most, and that I can still do well.
What was your favorite stroke?
Oh, butterfly. Yeah. Butterfly is that stroke that it's a combination of strength, technique, and you have to be able to get all of that right. Strength, technique, timing, in order to execute the butterfly movement properly. And you're in the water, you're in another world, you come out clean, you're able to think and just be in a different space, and then you doing a sport, movements that I love. So that's my thing. Yeah.
That's very inspiring. And almost like a superpower. So if you were to have a superpower related to your field, what would that be?
To be able to read faster. I have this curiosity about all types of innovations, advancements in society and technology, and I just love to read. And if I could read faster and assimilate more knowledge and know how to engage with other areas, other researchers, that would be my superpower.
I think I'd like to share that one. What's one piece of advice you would give a first-year student who was interested in research?
I would say get to know your professors. First piece of advice is do well in your academic programming or in your course. And then get to know the prof or the TA after the lecture, and just show a little bit of curiosity or interest in the topic of the course, which oftentimes relates to the expertise or the research area of the professor or of the professor or the instructor's colleagues. And as soon as you've shown that spark as a student, then things can happen, and you just don't know where that journey will go, because, oh, it might be a little hangout with my research group, or do a summer activity, or attend this event, and then you end up seizing opportunities as a student that can lead to many things, many good things.
What's the biggest challenge facing research and innovation today?
I would say it's integrating all the advances that happen in silos or happen in the respective disciplines. When we're talking about system thinking and solutions that are sustainable, we need to draw on these little nuggets of innovation or of technology or advancements in other areas. We need to pull them all together and integrate them. And sometimes that's not seen as glamorous research, but there is really a need to be able to take these advances that work as on a lab bench and be able to integrate them properly into a demonstrator and then hopefully onto a commercializable product.
Can you describe the future of research at Lakehead University in 2 words?
Oh, you bet. Exceptional and unconventional. Just stay tuned for more examples of how we can demonstrate that with our new research agenda.
Well, thank you very much, Langis, and thank you, viewers, for joining us on this edition of Research Matters. It's been a great opportunity to learn more about you and about your vision for research and innovation at Lakehead, and I think it is safe to say that the future looks bright. Stay tuned for more episodes of Research Matters, when Dr. Langis Roy will take the host position or the host chair and introduce you to some of our bright and exciting researchers here at Lakehead.
All right, thank you, Batia. Looking forward to the rest of the season.